I'm Ashton from EventChain for Investment Pitch Media and FinTech News Network. And today on Blockchain Interviews, we have Brian Kerr, the CEO of Kava Labs. Brian, thank you so much for being on the show. It's a pleasure to have you here today.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm really excited to get to talk to you and see what your interest is in DeFi and everything that we're doing.
Totally. I'm excited to learn about Kava Labs, and I read that Kava Labs is poised to become the future of decentralized finance, and many people that are traditional investors and are new to the crypto space are still curious, what is this DeFi movement? What is this all about? Could you give an overall general view of what is the DeFi movement and how does Kava Labs fit into that?
Yeah, sure. So with blockchain technology, what DeFi is really trying to do is take away the element of trust that's needed in the traditional financial space. And what that means is we can build software that provides the services of traditional financial institutions, such as banking, custody, loans, derivative markets, even traditional like exchange markets. They can all be addressed because there's always a person and their counterparty that they're interacting with, sometimes a series of middlemen. In the case of like with loans, you need to have credit scores, you need to have underwriters, you need to have all sorts of things. With blockchain technology, you can remove a lot of that and enable these same services to be delivered directly by the software.
That's great. And what's the main advantages over the traditional system?
Well, no counterparty risk is the main one. You can imagine that if it's, I'll talk about Kava for a second. What we enable people to do is interact with software and receive a loan regardless of their identity, their credit score, anything. Is just based on them interacting with software, similar to how you and I interact with Microsoft Word today. Mm-hmm. We can go on and type. There's no one else who's typing those letters for us on the other side. With our system that we're building, anyone can come on and say, here's my asset, I put it up as collateral, now I need a loan based on that. And the software delivers it for you. There's no counterparty providing that capital. The capital is made directly by the software and given to the users.
That's great. And this decentralized finance movement is fairly new, but there are other competitors that are trying to make similar plays in the space. Could you explain why Kava is so unique and what makes them different from other people that are trying to do this?
Yeah, the biggest player in the DeFi space today is a project called MakerDAO. And they provide a system where people can put up Ethereum or Ether as collateral and receive a stablecoin back as a loan. And I would say there's many other projects in the DeFi space, but they're all within the Ethereum ecosystem. And the problem there is that Ethereum's only the second or third largest market cap coin with some subset of crypto users, where Bitcoin itself is 10 times the size and currently those users have no access to DeFi services at all. So what we're trying to do we're building a platform that can accept multiple blockchains and their assets as collateral. So we can serve Bitcoin's users with the same thing that MakerDAO does for Ethereum, but we also can do that for Binance Chain, XRP, and all the other major cap cryptocurrencies.
Yeah, that's so interesting. Pretty much 99% of what people have seen in this DeFi space so far has been on Ethereum, and they say that Ethereum has smart contracts, so it's easy to remove that counterparty risk and have DeFi loans. But you guys have chosen Bitcoin, which obviously is the biggest platform, and if you guys can make this work, that will be revolutionary. But you've also chosen, the Cosmos platform, Binance. So why have you chosen these specific coins to do collateral?
So crypto is still a very small emerging space, and we actually could target Ethereum as well, but it, in our mind, makes no sense for us to target and compete with MakerDAO, which is already serving that community quite well. Mm-hmm. Instead, we can take our expertise that we've been working on for the past 2 years, building cross-chain technologies, and apply that to the systems, as you said, that don't have smart contracts, such as XRP, Binance Chain, Cosmos Hub with their Atom, and deliver those same services to them with our platform that we're building.
That's great. And from what I've seen with the MakerDAO platform, when you can put some coins there and get some collateral, if you're lending out coins, you can get a certain interest rate and sort of make money on your money while you're lending it out. You can do that the same with Kava, and does it make a difference whether you're doing it with Bitcoin or Atom or Binance?
Yeah, so I will maybe give one small adjustment to how you described it. Users put up their own collateral into the system, so their Ether, And then based on that amount of collateral, then they can withdraw a loan that the system actually prints out of thin air effectively. The users then can use that, freely trade with it, buy more crypto, whatever they want. And then they can repay the system, and the system will unlock their collateral and give it back to them.
Okay.
Very similar to how like a house is, you would get a reverse mortgage on a home. It's always over collateralized, and that's how it's always, it remains safe. So similar in our system, we just accept all the different types of collateral available.
Okay, that's great. And I read on the website that you leverage the assets that you have for your cross-chain CDP platform. Now, it sounds a little technical for people that haven't been in crypto yet. Could you break that down and explain what that means?
Yeah, so CDP stand for collateralized debt position. And our system is a collateralized debt position platform. And what that really is like a CDO in the traditional markets. So basically a bucket of assets that then you package up as a financial product, and you can do many different things with. So in the user's perspective, they put their assets into this bucket, it has some value, and that determines how much in loans they can receive from the system.
That's great. And how far along is Kava so far? Did you guys launch in the market? And what is the expected updates, for once it's launched until the end of this year?
So we announced the project in June. We were working on it quite a bit before that. And since we launched a series of testnets, rolling up into the last testnet this month.
Okay.
We just finished a launch on Binance that completed as an IEO, and we now have about 10,000 more users than we did before, which is great. And so we're out in the public markets with our staking and governance token called Kava. We also have a stable coin called USDX, which is the algorithmically managed stable coin. That has not launched yet, but the staking and governance portion is already out, and we'll actually have, it's been in testnet up to this point. We launched on Binance, and now on November 5th, we'll be launching our mainnet with about 100 different businesses around the world running nodes to support it.
Wow. Well, congratulations in leading up to that. That sounds like a great mainnet launch. And then what are the next steps right after that? Are you just simply making sure that it's going to work, or are you already focused on adding in more functions and upgrades?
So we've created a testnet of the CDP system that accepts collateral. There's one missing piece, and that is the inter-blockchain communication module that enables any blockchain built on Cosmos. So Binance Chain being one as an example, to implement that module, and then they can move assets in and out of our blockchain platform as well. So Binance Chain can move their assets from theirs over to us. We can move our stablecoin from our platform to their DEX. So that's actually being debuted at SF Blockchain Week at the hackathon. So we'll have a lot of different implementations and progress on that front. So hopefully in about a month's time, we'll have meaningful progress there, and we'll have the first assets moving into our CDPs and creating stablecoins. That's
great. And as you continue to grow, how do you expect to gain a lot of users? Is it just the fact that you have this cross-chain compatibility and you're not using Ethereum, that maybe the people that are currently in blockchain will gravitate towards the platform because they have more options, or are there other unique advantages?
Yeah, that's a great question. Maybe just philosophically first, I don't see like Kava Labs, the company, as the thing that's really driving adoption through and through. We're more like leaders of this open source community. We, like my team itself, we start off as 4 people. Now we're up to 8. It's still very, very small for everything that we've done. And it's because the people who are backing us, the validators or the node operators behind our platform that's launching on November 5th, they each have their own 7 to 10 man teams. And there's hundreds of them around the world. And they're building software, block explorers, wallets, collecting users on their own behalf and bringing them to our platform. So they're actually driving a lot of the growth on all fronts, both connecting us with exchanges, connecting us with new users, integrating us to new wallets and exchanges. So how I look at growth from Kava's point of view is we're actually working with them, and we need to empower them and enable them more and more. Ethereum, so as a great example, it's not that we're not doing Ethereum. It's just that my team is not focusing on building a bridge there. So instead, if some other community member wants to build a bridge to Ethereum, they absolutely can. And because it's open source, they can push that to the governance group. And if the governance group votes it in, then we'll support Ethereum assets as well. Yeah.
Great answer. Awesome. And that sort of leads me to the next question, which is, I see you've sort of built it as an open source foundation and expect that the community will grow and they'll be able to build in things that they want, like Ethereum. So does that mean that Kava Labs itself doesn't really run the network as a business? Like, is there a business transaction or a revenue model that Kava Labs can actually continue to become a sustainable company throughout launching the network? Or how will Kava Labs itself sustain itself and the developers that are working in the company?
Great question. So for the first 2 years, it was literally me and my co-founder, Scott. We just put in a lot of money. And we actually operated as a software development shop. So we worked with bigger companies in the space. We weren't making blockchain products before. We were instead working with Ripple, working with MakerDAO, working with Cosmos to help them build their cross-chain settlement technologies. And when we launched this model, it definitely changed the nature of our business, quite a lot. But what we do have is multiple years of runway now, even with considerable growth in terms of hires. And we still do hold quite a lot of Kava tokens ourselves. And we have the opportunity to build additional businesses and applications on top of this platform once it's out in the world. So to our equity holders, where there's probably a number of them that are going to watch the show, our business as we grow is one part of the Kava assets that we hold that we hope are going to appreciate in value over time. But then in addition, these secondary layer services or applications such as integrations directly with a DEX where we can provide our leverage or stable coins to it and be some type of service provider taking a transaction fee on those. That's something that we can expand into once the blockchain is out in the world and there's lots of users on it.
Yep. That's great, Brian. And so what is Kava Labs' main goal in terms of what you guys are looking for right now? I know you guys are launching this mainnet on November 5th. Are you looking for more people to start using it on day one? Or are you also looking for more developers or more strategic partners?
We always could use more partners. That's we have a huge list already, but as I said, they're the ones who are doing most of the work. They're the ones who find our platform to be useful and then bring it to their users and help us grow. So if you have viewers that are exchanges and they need a new token to list, love to speak to you. If they are validators or tech enthusiasts that want to take active participation in our network, we have tons of online resources on our GitHub for them to do that. And then third, once our CDP platform is launched shortly after the mainnet, if you don't want to use a centralized exchange to have leverage trading or to hedge your crypto assets, please use Kava.
Mm-hmm. And what would you say may be one of the biggest challenges or obstacles that you may foresee as you continue to grow that may lay ahead for Kava Labs?
That is a great question. So far, everything has been going quite well. I think the biggest challenge for just me personally is finding very good technical talent and expanding our team to grow as fast as we would like to. It's very hard to find senior crypto developers. And we're constantly, working with recruiting firms to expand our team and grow our capabilities. There's so many assets to support. We had to scope what we're working on to just 4, BTC, XRP, Atom, and BNB. Obviously, we would like the top 20, the top 50 crypto assets to be supporting our network, but it's really just a consideration of throughput. So the more we can bring in to our team, the faster we can add in all these assets and cement our position in the market.
Awesome. And if those strategic partners are watching now, what's the best way to reach out, contact you, or just learn more about Kava Labs?
For any type of general inquiry, hello@kava.io is the best place. And I would say join our Telegram is another good place to get started, which is t.me/Kava Labs.
Awesome. Well, I'll leave those links in the description box below for the viewers. And that's all the time that we have for this interview, Brian, but it's been great learning about Kava Labs and all the best for the mainnet launch on November 5th. And let's follow up in the near future after that launch.
All right. Thank you so much, Ashton. It's been really a pleasure to speak with you and to be here. Thank you.